Hey, you know they're still chasing after me. They've got posters all over town that say, "Wanted, Elwood Wolf." They think that I'm the big bad wolf. Well, I've got a surprise for them. I've got videotape proof of who did it. And here he is. That's the big bad wolf. He's the one that was trying to eat those 3 little pigs. Yeah, and this is the way it happened. He was walking along, and he was kind of hungry, and he noticed the first little pig's straw house. Well, he thought, oh, that ought to be easy to blow over. So he went up and he knocked on the door. The first little pig thought, oh, I wonder who this is. So he went to the window to see. It's the big bad wolf. Well, the big bad wolf knew he was in there, so he said, little pig, let me in." And the first little pig said, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." But the big bad wolf asked him again, little pig, let me in." And the first little pig said, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And that's when the big bad wolf said, "All right then, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." Whoa, things went flying everywhere. And the first little pig said, "Well, I better get out of here." And he grabbed everything he could and he ran all the way to the second pig's little house. When the big bad wolf saw him run into the second pig's house, he thought, ooh, now I can have 2 pigs to eat. So he walked up to the second pig's house. Now this house was made with sticks, not really much stronger than the straw house that he blew over before. He knocked on the door, but the first little pig said, "It might be the big bad wolf. Let's go over to the window and see." It is the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf knocked on the door. Little pigs, let me in." And they shouted back, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." Well, the big bad wolf said it again. Little pigs, let me in." Well, they shouted back again, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." Oh, the big bad wolf said, "Well then, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." Oh, the 2 little pigs said, "Well, we better get out of here." And they grabbed everything they could and they ran all the way to the third little pig's house. Now, when the big bad wolf saw them run into the house, he thought, 3 little pigs. This is my lucky day. He walked up to the third little pig's house and knocked on the door. But the third little pig said, "Now, wait a minute, fellas. Don't just go answering the door. Let's look through the window first and make sure it isn't you know who." So they went over to the window and they looked out. There he was, the big bad wolf. Then they heard him knock on the door again. Little pigs, let me in." They all shouted back, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." Then he shouted again, Little pigs, let me in." Oh, and they shouted back, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "All right, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed, but he couldn't huff and puff enough to blow down a brick house. So he thought to himself, I'm going to have to come up with another way to get in there. Well, wait a minute. I could just climb up on the roof and go down through the chimney. I'll be just like Santa Claus. And he started climbing up the roof. But the third little pig figured out what the big bad wolf was doing. So he said to the others, "I think we can have a big surprise for the big bad wolf when he comes down that chimney." So they went over to the fireplace and they boiled a hot pot of water. Now, when water starts to boil, it's really hot. Oh boy, that was one hot pot of water. So when the big bad wolf came flying down that chimney, he fell into that hot pot of water. Woo-hoo-hoo! Ow! Oh, open the door, open the door. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran so fast and so far that they never saw the big bad wolf again. Well, the good news for me is I've got pictures here that prove who really did it. Now they can stop picking on me, 'cause I am not the big bad wolf. I am Elwood Wolf. Thank you very much.